You're watching our weatherman. This is your tropical update. Elsa was close to hurricane strength last night and for most of the morning as well, but now the storm is down to just 50-mile-an-hour sustained winds, and that number will continue to drop as the storm slowly makes its way across the island. So as of the 4 p.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center, it now appears that Elsa will re-emerge out into the Florida Straits off of the northern side of the island early tomorrow morning, and once it does so, it will have about 48 hours to regain strength, probably from minimum tropical storm or maybe even tropical depression status, depending on how much time exactly it spends over the island. It'll have that much time, maybe a little bit less, to re-strengthen, probably into a strong tropical storm, and I would say a 50-50 shot of it becoming a hurricane by the time it makes landfall just to the north of Tampa. And there was a cold front set up over the southeastern United States and northern Florida that was supposed to drop down and shear Elsa apart to a certain extent and prohibit massive development of the storm in that 2-day time frame. Well, now that front has transitioned into a stationary front, which means it isn't really going to go very far, and so Elsa will likely be able to scoot by on its track without interacting with that front too much, and that will allow it to strengthen a little bit more. However, there is still a little bit of shear that Elsa will have to deal with as it parallels the west coast of the Florida Peninsula, and that will, I think, keep the storm from getting too out of hand. I'd say a Category 2, maybe the size of, say, Hurricane Ike, is probably the worst case scenario. And then the storm continues inland on from there, and it's going to be taking a little bit more inland of a track than what we saw yesterday, and that will prevent certain places like, say, Jacksonville from getting hit so directly by the storm, which is a good thing. Certain population centers will be spared out of this. However, it does put certain areas a little bit more in the bullseye. For example, the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill Triangle, Richmond, Virginia, Baltimore, Atlantic City, even New York City to a lesser extent, and then a direct hit, it looks like, on Friday in the Nantucket, Cape Cod area of eastern Massachusetts, and as the storm will probably transition into a post-tropical cyclone. From there, serious impacts can be expected in down east Maine, and some right down the middle landfalls are currently projected for the Canadian provinces of Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. All of this is to say that the impacts of the storm are not just contained to the west coast of Florida. This storm will be felt way up the east coast over the next week or so. Though the worst of the weather will occur down in Florida, including storm surge values of up to 5 feet and higher than that if the storm strengthens more than expected, which is highly possible. And for those of you who don't live immediately at the coast, while the storm surge may not get you, the rain definitely will. Starting to see some pockets of orange popping up on the map here, indicating 6 to 10 inches of rain, and I almost guarantee you someone will get hit with over a foot of rain out of the system. The time to prepare for Elsa is quickly fading away. Tropical storm force winds are possible by tomorrow morning as far north as Miami and Naples. Those within the cone should prepare for up to a Category 2 hurricane, as that is certainly possible, and almost everyone within the Sunshine State will receive some kind of heavy rain, gusty winds, and storm surge if living near the coast. Since there is nothing else going on in the Atlantic or the Pacific Ocean, that will do it for tonight's tropical update. And more than likely, I will not have time to do a video tomorrow or Wednesday. So it is very important that you go and follow and like my professional Facebook page, James's Weather Forecasts, where I will be making periodic posts on there. You can find the link for it down in the description of the video, and I highly encourage you to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and ring that notification bell, as I will be doing videos later on this week as Elsa moves up the east coast of the United States.